The New Mutants finally hit theaters. If you're willing to venture out and go to a movie theater, not a super big all-star cast, but known names all the same. Starring Alice Braga, Maisie Williams, and Anna Taylor-Joy. Not bad, not a bad cast. The story, I want to say the story was kind of thin. After all of the remakes and retakes and redos and reshoots, I was like, man, wow, I expected more. Then, after watching the movie, after about 20 minutes, 30 minutes in, I was like, hey, wait a minute. This movie's familiar. And it was kind of familiar. If you've ever seen Nightmare on Elm Street, The Dream Warriors, you have just about seen this movie. Similarities called out to me. 5 kids wake up in therapy. They're stuck. You know, they can't get out unless these people that are holding them say that they're okay to get out. Both movies. They're hunted by a dream creature that's trying to kill them. Both movies. This demon going through the cells trying to kill everybody. Both movies. The kids end up having superpowers. Both movies. They use these superpowers to fight the demon dream monster, but they can't do it until the one girl decides to help them. Both movies. It wasn't as good as I was hoping. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't what I was expecting. After so many reshoots and everything, I was like, okay, well, this is going to be a bona fide horror movie. It's going to be great. I read the comics. I actually owned the first run of the New Mutants, but I was looking for something that was happening in the books, and I don't know, it just wasn't there for me, I guess. I wanted something closer to the actual source material, and it wasn't really that. They took some liberties, which you would have to expect. It was less than 2-hour movie. They didn't have a lot of time to dive into all of the intricacies of the comic book, but loosely based on the comic book, and I think they did okay. If they had time to build a universe from here, I think it would have been cool. There's a secret villain in this movie, which I was kind of psyched about when I realized what was going on. They hint about it. There's a couple of hints that say, hey, there's something bigger happening here. And if you're a comic book fan, you'll say, oh, that's the thing. Because of that thing, I know that this thing's going to happen, and that thing leads to this person. Wow, that's kind of cool. So there was that. They mentioned the XMen. So this is a part of the X-Men universe. I'm assuming it's a part of the X-Men universe that deals with the previous X-Men universe, not the one upcoming with the MCU. So there was that. But it wasn't what I was expecting. I liked it, but compared to what other comic book movies are, this isn't going to be in my top 10, but honestly, none of the X-Men movies are probably in my top 10 anyway, so this fit well, I guess, in the X-Men universe. Danny, who's a Native American, an indigenous person, wakes up after suffering the loss of some family members, wakes up in the hospital, and they're like, hey man, you're going to stay here because you're dangerous until we say that you can leave. And we means I. And she's pretty much like, oh, okay, all right, whatever. She tried to escape once, but that was it. I mean, it seems like you would spend, I would spend every day. I'd wake up, eat some breakfast, try to break out. Can't break out, go to sleep. Eat some breakfast, wake up the next day, try to break out. but that's me. They all seem kind of cool. I mean, they even acknowledge the fact that they're pretty sure that they're just prisoners there. And they're all just like, hey, let's play with a lie detector. Let's dance to some disco music. Let's do this and hang out. Let's make out in the showers. There's all kinds of stuff that they were doing that didn't seem like someone would do that had superpowers and knew that they were being held against their will. I don't know. Seems like there were some pieces missing. Seems like when they made the movie and remade the movie and redid it and changed it and did this, they took out some pieces that explained some other things. It looked like they were building towards a potential add-on to one of the other universes, or maybe their own universe. But of course, with what's going on with the MCU and everything, they're bringing in their own X-Men. This is not going to be a part of it. Even with that, it was an okay movie. It wasn't great. It wasn't what I was expecting, but you could sit down and watch it. It was definitely a watchable movie. In fact, this movie was so watchable that I would give this movie 6 bags of popcorn. 6 bags of popcorn. Because that's what I think about that. Have seen the New Mutants? Let's talk about it in the comments. What's your favorite X-Men movie? Let's talk about that. And if you like the video, if you like the content, subscribe. And then like.
Popcorn passport. Get your popcorn passport.